blinded by Terry. Mundo is going to be the response. Now, I'm not sure how Nasus is going to function this game outside of the side lane. To attack Nidalee's HP pool, because you're just starting from a losing position, given Nidalee's kit. But we'll see how it goes. Oh, Scott running Dark Harvest as well. That is very interesting. Is that intentional? Is this an... Because we've already had a Dark Harvest incident when it comes to Void, but it wasn't Sivir, it was a Mordekaiser. Kama potentially in some trouble. Although Chop is not brave enough to start Q here, but he might just... One of these Racketeers members might just get punished on the back end here, as Rack only needs one auto attack to die. It's 2 kills for Sivir, as that Dark Harvest rune already has 2 stacks on it. And we're not even 2 minutes into this game. Crazy start, and I gotta say, this is about as bad as it can get for Racketeers when it comes to a level 1 invade. Sivir starting with Cole as well. Already has a bounty on her head. That is pretty wild. And Rack has already landed his first spear. This could get ugly. This is how this matchup is supposed to go. Nidalee with the constant auto attacks. It's not really the spears that kill you, it's the auto attacks. But Rack, oh no, Rack forced Syndra's flash level 1. This is really bad. Void have gotten a lot for their bot lane, but it's their mid lane that might be in a very sorry spot very early into this game. Cam already without his flash and without his TP. Not much else happening on the side lanes this time around. Understandable. Nautilus usually doesn't want to be queuing into the Braum unless he finds a really good opportunity to trade. Chop is already mid. He's only cleared 3 camps, but he knows Cam has no flash. They will try to go for it anyway. But here comes Jazz with a counter gank! And it's really good timing from Void. They might just get this kill. Chop the farmer is dead already. What a decision from Jasmine. Really good presence of mind there to protect their mid laner in a vulnerable spot. Now Rack could still try and force a kill here, but Kama has red buff and the extra regen from the available potion, so he should be fine, but that is a very good turnaround. I guess maybe it just worked out perfectly for Void, because Zac was... It just turned out that Zac was in the area. An Elastic Slingshot allows him to appear in a lane from very unconventional angles, so this is just something that Racketeers didn't really take into account. This could be a rare bad start for Chop on this Amumu. Rack running out of mana. Still harassing, but that gank from the Zac really seemed to save Syndra's lane. Chop's still looking. Hasn't cleared his Raptors, hasn't cleared his Wolves either. He really wants to find something in the lanes. Void go for a 2v2 angle. Amumu misses his bandage toss. He's not going to get anything out of this. He's going to go onto the Nautilus, but there's not enough damage in the tank. He's still auto-attacking, but this is just going to be a kill for Scott. Really confusing angle from Racketeers on this gank, and Chop dies for the third time inside of 5 minutes. This is not really the Racketeers we've been seeing in weeks 4 and 5. This resembles the Racketeers we saw in week 1. Void going for another 2v2 trade. It is going to force a flash from Enix. This is just good news on top of good news for Void. It just keeps getting better. Cam holding his own in mid, which is probably the best portion of all the news right now. Oh, Westy going for a trade on the tower. He actually has to use his flash to get away. Maybe he was looking for Jinx there. Was a brave attempt. And she looking like he's slightly ahead in this matchup right now. Jasmine's still looking for a punish, but not gonna find it in mid. It's such a big discrepancy right now in the ball lane when it comes to these items. You have the Cole already stacking, plus the BF sword. There's just no way Racketeers can look for anything inside of his 2v2. It's like I was saying before the game started. Cam can proc Scorch all he wants, but all it takes is for Nidalee to press E and all that health is basically back up anyway. Still trading very aggressively, but I guess if Rack chooses to play like this and just taking damage in this way, he will run out of mana eventually. But Cam is playing a little bit too far forward. He gets too caught up in the trading, and it does force the flash once again. Chop makes his way mid, gets that summoner. Now we might be looking at a 2v2 bot lane after this once again. Jasmine actually looks like she's starting Dragon. Oh, Rack just going for it. It's really close down in mid. But Dark Sphere from Syndra whiffs. That was one more sphere, I think, that was needed to get that kill and didn't quite land. So close between the two. Scatter the Weak lands once again. Rack looking. He has his flash. He's going to go for it. Does not quite have the range with his pounce, but he gets the kill anyway with his javelin. Rack playing with absolutely no fear in his heart mid lane gets his kill anyway. Now we will see a gank from Chop the Farmer. Constantly ganking on the Sabubu. Not really giving Void laners any chance of respite, but Terry might just find a kill onto the Mundo anyway. He tries to go for it, but he will not find it. Chop gets his first kill participation of the game. But his impact was felt even without the kill participation so far, I would argue. Racketeers with a little bit of a comeback, a little bit of a sigh of relief, you could say. Their matchups in top lane and ADC, I mean, of course Jinx is behind in gold, but Jinx is not dying. She's not really behind the curve, it's Sivir that's ahead of the curve. So as long as Racketeers can just keep the ship steady for now, they can still very much have a chance in these fights later. Nautilus going for another hook onto Enix, but that shield will deny all of it. Rack was trying to go for a play, did not quite find it. Westy now has level 6, just goes for it immediately. Good spell shield from Scott. Blocking some of that damage. Racketeers bot lane once again feeling the pressure. Fortunately for them, there's no jungler in the vicinity. so there will be no dive from Void. Oh, Chop is here protecting his ADC. He doesn't want any 2v1 kills to happen. Okay, both top laners here popping their ultimates, but it feels like Terry is the one that has the advantage. Will he be able to catch up to Mundo? I guess he doesn't even need his jungler's help. He does get the solo kill. Nice work from Terry. That Sheen power spike is pretty much all he needed. Oh, it's a good combo from the Void mid-jungle duo, and they do get the kill onto Nilly. Good dodge on the bandage toss, but Curse of the Sad Mummy is there. And Chop will find the kill in response anyway, but he will pay for it. It looks like all it takes is one Q. The stretching strikes land, and Jasmine will be the killer in this situation. It's a 2-for-1 for Void. The early game looking really solid for the blue side team. I think especially the mid lane is definitely something that Void were looking to punish before this game started. It definitely feels this way. The way they're approaching this early game, it does feel like they put extra attention on making sure that Rack is getting punished in this laning phase. Even if it doesn't happen in the 1v1, it can happen in the 2v2. Rack is still pressuring. Doesn't matter what's happening, he will just look for these trades, he will trade. That's exactly what he should be doing. Like, Nidalee is just not a champion where you can afford to sit back and relax. I guess you do have the safety of your Jinx hyper carry potential, but he's still gonna look for the solo kill, and he gets it onto Cam. When the junglers are not involved, Rack is still dominating in the laning phase. It's a little bit of a mixed picture for Racketeers. I don't know what they will decide to do when it comes to this second dragon. Chop is in the area. Jinx is mostly full HP, so is the Braum. Although now, Braum is actually found in the Dragon Pit, and he takes so much damage in response. There's no real opportunity for Racketeers to counter-engage. In fact, they're just getting ran down one by one. Chop falls. Rack should be next. Only one auto attack is required to kill him, but he actually stays alive. With everything that's happened, Void do not lose anyone. They only kill 2. It could have been 3, although Mundo is dead once again. Terry is finding his strength in this matchup, hitting his spike, and punishing the Mundo. Very good hook onto Judging Rocks. Very much mispositioned. Had to flash here, but now Syndra approaching from the flank. Racketeers will just try and go for it, but Rack dives too deep. Scott still has his flash. Judging Rocks tries to reply with auto attacks of his own, but there's not a lot that Racketeers can do. They do get the dragon, though. So I guess it's not all bad for Racketeers. Chop is still fighting. He's still putting out the damage. Really nice assist from Enix as well. And at the end of the day, Racketeers kind of sort of win the fight, and they get the dragon as a cherry on top. So not the worst outcome. And we're still sitting on this 2,000 gold lead or whereabouts. The gold situation is not really moving all that much. But the most important member of Void is definitely in a position to carry this game. And that is something that Racketeers will have to worry about. Now, Sivir can't really stop the Mumu from closing the distance with Bandage Toss. If she gets tagged by the Bandage Toss, she can Spell Shield it, but Mumu will drag himself to her anyway. So it is a bit of a problem for Sivir to peel herself away from the Amumu. She will require the assistance of her team. And we'll see if this side lane becomes a factor for Void. Nasus is already in a situation where he has a lot of haste. He can win the 1v1 matchup versus the Mundo, but can he hold his own in a 1v2? I don't think that's possible. He will try. He will try as best he can. He's actually almost... He actually almost managed to get a kill onto the Amumu. It was really close. But at the end of the day, Racketeers get their man. But now Jasmine in a 1v2. Looking for that kill, but perhaps a little bit too eager. The Amumu will die in the end, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. And now Void assessing the situation. They decide to force mid, but Braum provides that assistance. Another hook from Westy, but Chompers trap Nautilus in place. And it looks like Racketeers could just be able to run Void down with Jinx auto attacks. The Sivir responds nicely with auto attacks of their own, and now with Nasus TP the River, Jinx has nowhere to go, no cleanse to protect herself from the Nasus slow. And Void, now with Nasus in their midst, are able to respond. It's another kill for Void as this Herald spawns. They continue to put damage onto Racketeers. Tenshi, I'm not sure what he was looking for in that spot, but he dies once again. Is Void going to look for Herald as a result of his play? Super Mega Death Rocket. It was an attempt to snipe one of the Void members sitting further down the backline, but it didn't quite happen. And that was a flash from Jasmine right there. Probably unnecessary. Yeah, it might have been a fat finger situation. That can happen. Yeah, Racketeers, it feels like they have not been the better team when it comes to team fighting. But Jinx definitely looking very vulnerable inside of these fights. Now Rack once again isolated in this 1v1 matchup versus the Syndra, and coming out with the upper hand right now. And now Void have a little bit of a window to rotate. They will go straight onto Enix. The Wither lands, but Void know better than to overextend into an area of the map where they have zero vision. The dragon is now spawning. Racketeers in a little bit of a pickle. They have mid-waves to catch, but they still have a dragon to attend to. Chop the Farmer will get focused first. Curse of the Sad Mummy is there, but there's no damage to follow it up. Racketeers in full retreat mode. They cannot hope to win this one. Enix is the next one that gets focused here. Racketeers, instead of focusing on this dragon, they will probably just focus on the side lane play, but now Judgy Rocks, he has to flash from the Nasus. He will not get away anyway. He just dies to the combined forces of Void. It is an important detail now that Racketeers have managed to get a kill in the side lane. Mundo continues to push. So it's a little bit of a split situation on the map, but Void have more than enough engage to keep going here. They have the Sitter, who just continues to auto-attack. Enix dies. Looks like Rack will be next. Jasmine gets that kill. And right now, the snap engages from Void are basically what is deciding this game. I was a little bit... Maybe I was a little bit of a skeptic. Just underrating the snap engage potential that was on the side of Void and that how that could be the factor. Or Chop really looking for his Nautilus kill, but it's just not going to happen for Racketeers. Now, how much can this Mundo do now that he got this little influx of gold in the bot lane? I'm saying little, but it's not really little. I think it's in Void's best interest to keep Nasus matched against this Mundo. Just so that things don't get out of control. Syndra's just not the champion to handle the Mundo in the side lane. Now you actually have Rack fighting against the Sivir, but you see just how outmatched the Rack is in terms of DPS. Chop makes his way to bot lane, uses his whole combo onto the Sivir. Sivir uses the flash, but I don't think it's going to matter. Good peel from Westy though. Can Amumu get the kill with Despair? Scott kites it out. Survives by the skin of his teeth. And while we were not looking, Cam actually gets a kill onto Jinx in the mid lane, and the game just continues to progress in a positive way for Void. Tenshi now trying to find a kill, either onto Sivir or the Nautilus, but Jasmine is here to interrupt. Super Mega Death Rocket whiffs. It does not hit either target, although it was really close. Tenshi actually gets the kill onto Sivir. Big shutdown. I don't think Scott needed to be walking up that far. Wow. That Nasus has quite a lot of stacks at this point. If I'm reading this correctly, he's sitting on 606. Judgy Rocks is not having a good time. I think it would be beneficial if his support invested in the Mikhails, but even then, even if that happens, I feel like he's still going to find it really difficult, given how far behind he is. Even Zac alone is actually a threat in terms of damage output. Wow, where is Scott right now? He just finds Jinx in an isolated spot. Racketeers are nowhere to be found, not able to help their ADC. That was a really bold move from Scott, but it pays off. And Nas is now onto Rack. Wiver just completely roots them all in place, basically. It's a 99% slow, but it feels like a root. Chop the farmer. He can't really find any kill here. Try as he might. He doesn't even press Curse of the Sad Mummy in that situation. He knew he was dead. Void are running away with this game right now. It was a bit of a precarious lead in the early game, but now that Sivir is in such a good spot, the bot lane is playing together so well. Now it is just a question of when, not if. Baron spawning in less than a minute. but Atacon is going to be the first target, and Racketeers can do nothing but watch. They can't even watch because they don't have vision in this side of the map. Yep, it's straight back to base, and after that, it's straight on to the next objective. The Dragon is also spawning, so we'll see what both teams decide to do here. I mean, given the gold lead, it's not like Racketeers have any say in the matter. Racketeers trying to look for Dragon here, but Void is already in the area. Not focusing on the Baron as much, more so on the Dragon. Racketeers still split. Chop still really far forward. He has no assist from his team. Judgy Rocks is so far away right now. So is the Braum. Racketeers are completely split in this fight. Uncoordinated. Cam will just kill Chop in the Dragon Pit while his team is still just completely scrambled in the jungle. Frontline falling one by one as Void continue their push forward. Jinx once again caught by the CC, and this is just going to be the end of the game. Void once again win just another team fight in a decisive manner, and all that's left is the Nexus. Rack is hitting some Qs, but it's not going to mean a thing. Good peel from the Syndra. Void will find their 6th win of the season. Racketeers potentially falling further down the standings, pending other results later down the line in Week 6.